Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome for this afternoon special live today. I'm just ooh, put some music down. It's probably too high. So now we are great. So welcome, everybody. I'm very happy to be here. This is very well. Today we are discovering something very different live from what we did before because the Nintendo 7.0 has been released and it's really good, really good things, really good news that, well, having a new release or having a new version released is always for product developer, engineer, marketing, even, CDO and so on. It's always really good news for these people and of course for customers because it's always exciting to discover what's new there, and for people that have worked on that, it's always really a good moment to share something they worked on for several months, several days, several weeks, and having the capabilities to have some feedbacks. So this is why we decide today to focus this Campus Wave session on Entando 7.0, and let's try a bit on what's new, what we can expect from that, and I think we will focus on some specific topic there that will be the Nintendo Hub. Yeah, probably you. This is the first time you heard about the Entando Hub, but I'm pretty sure here we already talk about, the hub things. So we need to first, one thing before starting anything else is we're supposed to have Sohini with us today, but unfortunately she can't join because of some storm issue. There is actually a storm in India, and she can't join us because of power issue. And the fix is, what I want to say is, I just want to have a thought for her, and I hope she will just stay safe. So probably maybe she can attend the stream and be with them today to share some ideas. But the fix is, in this moment, you should stay safe. So I'm pretty sure she with us, in some ways, but unfortunately she can't join, with the webcam or anything else because there is some troubles because of the storm. So let's moving on, and I'm pretty sure we will meet her soon next week, probably, or maybe for the next Twitter space. Anyway, so even one more thing is, so all for these people in India, let's also have a quick thought about, say, stay safe, guys. It's always complicated, when you have some weather issue, and stay at home, and it will be better. So then, the next point will be just take a coffee, team, and then, like me, and then we will be able to jump into the 7.0 release. So I have prepared something. We have prepared something. Excuse me. With Sohini, is what's new with Entando 7.0. So the thing is, we have some exciting things. We have a lot of things we can share there. Probably we can't be able to discover everything. So because 7.0 is a major release. It includes a lot of modifications, improvements, and especially some of them are very technical, focused on KDS, including bug fixes, security updates, version update also, and some improvements. So Maybe we will be able to dive into some of them, but be sure that if you want to have a good idea of what the Nintendo 7.0 contains, you should join us. You should be able to, you should read the release notes. I'm sharing it with you on this chat. So you should be able to check that and read everything. We will do it, by the way. We will just browse it together quickly. But let's say I would say that the most important things I want to speak there is about the Nintendo Hub. I think the Hub is really a game changer in the way we consider composable applications. I know this is something we talk so many times here, especially when we were talking about forces, about how to share, check, and select components. So now the this is available. So now we can not only think about that, we can use that right now for making our application better. Oh, I can see Sohini's here. Oh, great. Thank you, Sohini. Just before you are coming, I was saying that you need to stay safe because of the storm. So we all know that, okay, you have some power supply issue. So that is a very important storm. So stay safe at home and share some thought with us if you want, because we have so many exciting things about the hub. Is yeah. So what I want to start with is, let me just share my screen again. So I have some troubles. Oh, there's a cyclone. Oh my god, a cyclone. That's very important. Yeah, one more reason to stay at home and stay safe. Cyclone is very annoying. So wait, I was saying that you can read the release note here, and yeah, no power, no Wi-Fi. So yeah. I'm waiting to hear about the hub. Yeah, so many things about the hub. So before jumping, I don't want to talk so much about the hub right now because we have a lot of we plan to talk about the hub a lot then. So the first things is I would like just do a quick review of the Nintendo 7.0 release notes. So you can find it here. I just already share in the chat. So if you want to, you can jump into it and get a look. But basically, just to let you know, yeah, the supported Kubernetes version is now 1.19 from 1.19 to 1.21. Same things for OpenShift, so 1.20 to 21 and Rancher 19 to 21. So as I said, we have several security updates, and I don't want to give all these details, but you have all the list here, so you can also get a look at that. So if you had some security issue, you should now move to the 7.0 because all the fixes have been fixed. So the hand of the hub that is coded as the new and major feature. Yeah, we have something about the. Of course, we have a lot of. We have a lot of improvement on so many. Well, let's say on all the Nintendo part. That is the application engine, the app builder, the Nintendo component generator. Oh yeah, the Nintendo component generator. I can talk about that because I work on that and I know that we upgraded the Nintendo component generator from Jeepster 6.10, something like this, to Jeepster 6.2. So the funny thing is now we have both Jeepster and Nintendo that are on the 7 version. Just well, this is, I don't think this is intended, but that's always funny. So we support the 7.2 chips of 7.2 now, and main modification has been made about how we are managing the different version of Jeepster. Let's say of not of Jeepster, but of dependencies, and especially from Maven, because Gipster having a bill of material that define all the different version. From what I say, this bill of material is extend the one provided by Spring Boot. So we decide to fork it and having our own bill of material. So then, yeah, for some, especially because for some security reason, if we can't upgrade to a Gipster version, we still have the hand of these dependencies. So that means it will help us to be more flexible by providing a security fixing that we had in the past. That is, yes, a good point. So many improvement also about into the components repository. One of the things I really like is, so now you can, for a given bundle, you can upgrade, downgrade, and update one. So that yeah, the thing is, I would say it was possible in the past, but it was a bit tricky. So you had to you install one and then install a new one and so on. So then now you have buttons that help you to make it so easier. So the developer user experience have been improving this way just by make it so simple. And I will do a demo after that, so we will be able to see that. But I would say that I really love this improvement. So many times I was expecting it. Yeah, many things, fix bug and so on. We have also the CLI. Improving the CLI is very important because we all know that the CLI is something that we want to use. We want to use it because it's help us to make our work more simpler. And often I'm using the CLI. I mean, if I'm talking about Entando, but also for any other projects. If I have a CLI, I would like to use it. So it's great to have. By the way, I'm just wondering if people would prefer to use CLIs or maybe having UI or so on. So give some thoughts on the chat. I would like to know that. But I like CLI so much. I feel like I'm mastering it. Like, whoa, so many things I need to type and I can't see everything. But most of the time, it make all the things easier. So I can easily access to the many things. Even if I would say the learning curve in some ways when you're using a CLI is probably more important than if you are using a friendly interface. But definitively, mastering the CLI also helps define great pipelines. So if I can use my CLI on my local environment, that means I can create pipelines and include this CLI into it and automatically execute actions. So this is also why I love these CLIs. Anyway, we have a lot of improvements, so I will suggest you to also upgrade the CLI to benefit to leverage this improvement to have this improvement for you. I didn't check everything for the moment, but I would say that anyway, anything that can be help me or yeah. So for example, this one is I did the helper belog to npg to fetch log from bundled plugins. I would say that especially as a developer, you want to have easily access to the logs, and especially when something went wrong. So it's a good point. You can check everything. So we have a lot of things. Then the bundler, some breaking changes. So it's because we have upgraded the Postgres and also MySQL, I think, version. You need to take care of that. So, for example, in this case, the version of Postgres will be 14, the default version. One more things we need to know. I know that it has been the case also before, but if you have an Apple M1, you will not be able to run. Unfortunately, you will not be able to run it to run Nintendo on your local machine because of images architecture. So for the moment, we don't have ARM64 architecture images. One more things. Now, some great. Yeah, one more things you want to upgrade. You can upgrade everything, and you can check everything. So, by the way, if you access it, and if you want to start, if you want to test Nintendo for the first time, what you need to do is to ensure that you have multipass installed, and then you just need to run that command. And when you run that command automatically, you download all the things you need and create the VM into a multipass, and you can start using Entando. So that's great. Good. So let's go back. I'm here. Where is my mouse? Let's go back to the presentation. And what I want to do now is to focus on the hub. So as we said, the hub is the main features we can expect from the Entando 7.0. And I'm pretty sure this will totally change the way we are using the composable apps. And we are slowly moving to a totally application composition platform. And this is something really exciting. And I would say that the future is, yeah, I can wait. I would like to have everything right now and just to test everything and ensure that, oh yeah, that's great. Oh, and so many things. Anyway, just before focus on the hub, we need first to just remind us what we said so many times before is what is the pipeline of application composition, or let's say composable business application. What is the pipeline? Or we can define the different steps and what are them. So the first step will be to create my component. So I will find their creator, basically developer. So you can use some tools such as Entando Component Generator to create your component, wrap them into a bundle, and share them into the hub. So the hub is created by a curator. That is the second step. So the curator defines policies, it defines rules. It's also check that all the incoming bundles are flowing them. And by having a curator, you want to be sure that all the things you have into your hub are correct, and you can allow your team to use them. So the curator has a central place because the hub is a central piece of the composable business application. So the hub is like a connector between your creator and your composer. And because if we talk about the composition step, so the composer will pick component from the hub to compose application using them. So that means I can decide to take one element there, put it into my application, one other element there, put it into my application, compose everything, and finally having my final application. So that is very important. And everything I want, everything I want to use, I want to have them available on my hub. So like, yeah, I think we can, it's like being in supermarket, and just choosing what you need. Oh, I need to cook tonight, so I want some chicken. That's great. I want some spices, some rice, probably basmati rice, and I don't know, something more, maybe some vegetables too, and some water. And finally, mixing everything to create a good final application that will be a good dish. and yeah, it's something like this. It's like using what you need, mixing everything to create exactly what your business need. And finally, the consumer will be the one that will use the application, but also monitoring it. Sometimes, maybe in some way, can define a few rules and probably be able to monitoring also the applications. And the interesting thing is, from all these persona, we can expect having great feedback and a great communication between them. Because what is important is, if I want my creator to be more, let's say, to create more relevant components, I need I need some feedback from my consumer or from my composer. And the same things is, the consumer need to understand exactly what the different components are doing. So this is why the hub is a central piece of this composable business application. So the hub is the place where creators are sharing their components. It's also the place where the company is defining the policies, rules, and expectations. This is the place where composers can choose and select the element they want to use or they need to use. And finally, this is also the place where consumer can understand what the company is providing to them to ensure that the business needs is rich, is covered. Great. So we need to just have in mind that why we are talking so much about the hub, because of all these pipelines, all these personas are playing a role around the hub. So next. Okay, so if we just try to focus on this specific creator job is, and just to understand that is, let's say, so we have a bundle, we want to push it into the hub. So basically a creator is giving you your bundle like, hey, please take that. I want this to be available on the hub because I want people to use it. That's great. But I need to check what I have in it. And then if there's something that is matching with my company policies. Also, probably one of the policies we can imagine is, what is the test coverage of that, of, let's say, of component that you can find here. What is the test coverage? Did you test it well? Can we expect less bug because you have a good notes on testing overall? Do you have some dependencies here that don't have any bug? So I have some dependencies that are included into my bundle, and I want to be sure that these dependencies are up to date and doesn't contain any security issue. And one more things, I don't know, does this bundle is compliant with my company guidelines? So for example, are we using the right graphical chart, the right colors? I don't know, probably something else. We can find a lot of explanation. We can find a lot of reason to check the bundle. Well, so that means the creator is like, the gatekeeper of the hub, and it needs to check everything. Also, that means you also need to be able to check existing bundles, or let's say a continuous checking of bundles, because you want to be sure that none of this bundle will be outdated, or if there will be, because let's say we recently discover a new bug into a given dependency security issue. We want to be sure that we can know which bundle has been affected, and then we can disable them for a short moment, of course. But then we can contact the creator to say, hey, oh, I lost my music. Why? Let me just select another one. Well, we should lo-fi, chill up, down tempo, launch. Let's maybe lo-fi. Wow, music is good. I don't know, sometimes, it's just fading. Okay, what I was saying is, yeah, if you want to um, say your creator, hey, your given bundle is not or has been affected by an issue, you need to upgrade it. And another reason is to let know composer that you can't use this one actually because we have some security issue on this, or if you already use it, please try to disable as you can, if possible, and wait for the patch. This is a reason. This is also one thing we can expect from the creator. So just to understand that, okay, the creator is managing the hub. One more things. If we think about what is application composition platform, we need to think about the few things, and probably the three first step that will be, I'm creating components, and let's say even I'm creating PBCs. A PBC is a package business capabilities. A package business capabilities mean that you are wrapping one or many components into a bundle for a dedicated business goal. We have some example in this image. Login sign up, project catalog, and a cart. But we can have a lot of them. Other, I don't know, we can find anything that will contain enough components to cover a business area could be considered as a PBC. So this is important to define PBC, because what we want to find on the hub most of the time will be probably PBCs. And we want then to use and reuse and reuse these PBCs into our applications, because this is where we are saving time on creating application. Especially, let's imagine inside the same company, everybody want to have a login and sign up. Everybody want to have a login. You are the, let's say 100 or 1,000 or 2,000 company members. You want to create different internal applications, but every time you want, or each application you are creating, you want them to include a internal login system. And I'm pretty sure you don't want all your developer team, all your dev team, to develop the same login system again every time. So what we want to do is to define one PBC, one login PBC, that will contain all the necessary items to cover this login need. And you make it available on the hub with the help of the creator. So that means all the composers, all your composers company can use and reuse it across all the different applications. So you have covered one business need by defining one PBC, sharing everywhere. That's great. Well, just giving an overview of what I was saying, the hub is a connector, let's say a bridge between creator and composer, and of course, finally consumer. But it's, let's say, a central piece of application composition platform. So if we take a look at the hub, what the hub here is, and this is where we will dive into right now. This is what the hub looks like for the moment. So let me just show you the hub. Great. So no more slide for the moment. So this is the real hub. So the hub is available on, you can having it on hub.entendo.com. So this is actually, so if you access it, hub.entendo.com, automatically you will access it. So this is our SaaS hub. So hub as a service. So that means, no, excuse me, I can stay the hub here. So you have the hub URL here, hub.entendo.com. Of course, you need to add HTTP dot, well, let's do it better. HTTP hub.entendo.com. Better. So that means if you access it, you will, if you click on it, if you access it, you will be able to see that UI. And here you can see that the Entendo hub. So this is a SaaS solution, so software as a service hub. So that means whenever we deploy new bundles here, you will be able to use them into your applications. The hub had just been released a few days ago. So we don't have a lot of bundles, but a few of them will help you to understand how the application composition platform works. And especially, for example, the standard banking demo, this is something I already covered a few months ago by explaining what is the standard banking demo and what it contains. So this is a component collection. So you can find under that, you can find a lot of components from front-end microservices to page templates and CMS content and so on. And if you are using them, if you are installing this standard banking demo, if you are using it, you will be able to run this standard banking demo on your own Entendo instance. And so it will give you a good overview of what this application composition, what Entendo could provide. That is a good point, a good way to test that. But yeah, so no, excuse me. So this is the hub. And you can find everything here there. The thing is, and maybe we will do a demo. Yeah. The question is, I can from this hub select the component I want to have in my application. So, excuse me. So one thing that could be very interesting is to discover the app documentation. So here we have a lot of documentation that explain you what is the hub, what you can have, or you can use it, install it, and so on. One important thing is, interesting things is, you can manage different repositories in your Entendo application and from different hub. So this is the demo I would like to show you. That is interesting because it's changing totally the where you can providing components. So let me just do a demo. So this is my Entendo 7.0 environment. So I'm just reloading it. So this is my environment. So it's not so far different from what you already know if you already use this Entendo 6.3. So if you access to the repository menu, the Entendo component repository contains several bundles here. So if you deploy a new bundle, and what we needed before was to use the NCLI to first deploy. So that means make your bundle available into your ECR, and then install. That means install components. So effectively install component from your bundle into your Entendo application, and then make components available under the different sections or pages, and compose pages using components. So as you can see, I have no component there. So I have no components in my application. And I only have a local registry. So the notion of registry is quite new, because since we had only one registry, one local registry, since we didn't have a hub, that means we don't need to define what a registry here. It's like the Entando component repository was my local registry. But now I have the capability to switch between several different hubs. That means I need to be able to jump, or let's say to switch, between different registry. So by default, I have the local one, but I have no components. So if I want to deploy my existing components into my ECR by using the CLI, it would work as usual. So I will be able to see into my local registry the different bundles I have. Then, if I want to select a new registry, what I can do is to create a new one. So I can create a new one, and I can define Entando hub, or let's say Entando official hub, so for example. And to find, so I need to give the API URL. So we give it to you here. So it's you will be able to have the API. And then back to the app builder. Oh, excuse me, to the app builder here. What you can do is to pass this URL. So I'm just creating a new registry that the name is Entando official hub. So I have my local registry, my Entando local official hub, that is a public hub. Okay. If I click on it, I can access to all these bundles that have been deployed. Let me just change. Something here so you can see everything. So I have all the bundles here. So you can see that we have customer portal, the hub, and all these things are defined by a bundle. So if for example, what I can see, I have the Tableau example bundle. So I can use it because it's a quite simple bundle, and I can see that I'm on my Entando official hub. So if I click on it, I can decide to deploy it. That means I can decide to deploy it into my Entando application. And I've clicked on deploy, and the bundle has been deployed. So then I can decide to undeploy it. So that means this is undeployed, so not available in my application anymore. Or I can decide to install it. So to prove that I have it deployed in my repository, if I go back into my local repository, I can see this has been deployed. So that means deploy means this is available in my Entando application. So because I deployed it, I can now decide to install it. And if I undeploy it, it's like that it will not appear anymore in my local registry. So that is quite interesting. Anyway, the notion of deployment, and then I can decide to install. So I can do it from the official Entando hub selected registry, but I can also go back to the local registry, click on it, and I can still install, deploy, manage everything. So wherever you are accessing your bundle, you can manage them. Then when I'm clicking on install, I can select the version I want to use. So basically, if I select no version, I will use the last one. But if I want to select a specific one, I can click on the drop box. I can see that the version 007 has been installed here. And once again, if I'm clicking on the bundle, I can decide to uninstall it or to update it. So update means update to the newer version. and we can also decide to downgrade to a specific version. So I will not uninstall it because of my I would like to use it, but yeah, you understand the life cycle. So that means now when I am accessing the different on my local registry, I can see that I have my Tableau bundle installed inside my application. If I'm going back to the official hub, because I can see it also, I can see the different ones, but if it's present only on the page 2, but if I'm accessing the page 2, I can see that it's already installed. So a good way to access to your install, especially if you are using multiple hub. We will talk about a strategy, by the way, using multiple hubs. But let me just, we will just finish the demo. Is if you are using multiple hubs, that means you can also having the overview of install components by selecting the local registry and click on installed, for example. So that is a good way to manage all these things. So that means because it installed now, I can click on components and macro front-end and widget, and under the user section, I can see that I have the Tableau sample widget. So that means the bundle I've installed for me also, well, because I have installed the bundle, I can now have access to the to a macro front-end that the name is a Tableau sample widget. So what I want to do next, is to use this Tableau widget, because here it's like having the hammer, on my case, but this is not because it's in my case that I'm using it. So I want to use my hammer. I want to use my tools. I want to compose my application using the things I have under my hand. So what I will do is to accessing to page management and create a new page. So what I will do is to add a new page here. Let's say we can test Tableau. So for example, let's say we will name it Tableau. Do we have, Tableau, for example, like this. And I need to select the page emplacement. So basically I will use the home root folder and select the owner group. So I will set as free access, and I need to select the template. The template is the way you want your page to be ordered. You want your components inside the page to be ordered. The way you are displaying the content into your pages. So some components, some bundles can include page templates or new page templates. That is a good way to having a different way to display your content. What I would use to use the 1-2 columns, default one, and then once again I need to change the camera to let you see that, because I have a button on the right here. Is I can save it, but I can click on save in design. That will directly dive me into the design section, and then I'm into the design section. So here you can see the template. So the different gray area are supposed to be used to drag and drop element component here, and the element component, are present here. We can define existing section to host specific component like the logo. So for example, I think we have the logo under the page section. So if I click here and just drag and drop elements into the logo, then I can publish my page. View the publish page, and my page will be empty, but it contains the logo. So this is the default logo. Okay. So for the same thing, for the same reason, what we want to do is to select the user under the user section. If you remember well, the components here, the Tableau was under the user section. So it's exactly the same in the designer. and I can decide to put my Tableau everywhere I want in my page. Just put it like this. Yeah, in some case, you need to configure the Tableau. Configure the excuse me, not the Tableau, but you need to configure the widget. In this case, automatically you will have access to it. So here I have nothing to do unless save, and I can see that the Tableau sample widget is present here. Then I can publish my page again and view the published page. And so now I can access to my Tableau microfontaine. So I still have my logo here and I have my Tableau microfontaine present here. And the funny thing is I can decide to change the page if, for example, I had a new content here. And because I've selected the widget content, I need to, so the widget content is supposed to display a content. So we need to select the CMS content we want to display. So let's say, for example, we have an existing content. So what do you need? The microfontaine for Kubernetes, Entando, Gypster, how it works. So for example, let's decide to use this existing content about Gypster, and then you have the content here. So we can decide to publish the content again, well, to publish the page again, excuse me, and to access the page. So the page is still here. And if I just reload it, now I will have my two different elements. On the left, I have my Gypster. I have my content that is talking about Gypster here, my microfontaine. So if I want to compose something more relevant, of course, I can create a specific content that explain what this Tableau component is doing or is displaying, and then giving some analysis. And finally, my consumer can access it and having some data about what we can find into the Tableau things, and also some explanation because of the content I'm adding. Great. So this is an example. This is, well, all these things are not related to the hub. Of course, this is something that already exists before. But the thing is, now, as you can see, we can decide to use existing components. And now, choosing components with the hub is so easier. And we can switch, we can select, and we can add and manage different registry. The question we can ask to ourselves is, what kind of strategy I can imagine using this hub? So of course, let's say if you are a company, so we can do what I did is that leveraging on a public hub. So Entando provide for the moment, Entando provide this hub that contains several bundles. These bundles, and I'm pretty sure that this hub will improve more and more, because by adding new bundles. So you will be able to find new bundles here. And by the way, probably we will contribute to that with several lives or several tutorials to how I can contribute to the Entando hub by providing new bundles. So that's great. That is a good starting point. But I'm pretty sure that some companies, SI, would like to having their own hub. In this case, this is something that we can imagine. You can have your own bundle. You can deploy it in your own company network. So make it private. And that means you can, from the Entando repository and registry management, you can add it to your Entando company, to the Entando component registry. So that means, in the end, inside your Entando application composition platform, you can leverage from different hubs that will be public hub, private hub, even let's say shared hub if you want to share with a consortium. That could work. This is something we can imagine. We can also have company hub. this is something we can imagine doesn't exist for the moment, but we can have community hub. What I did? I said company hub. I would say community hub. Like, let's say, I don't know, imagine I'm a community that provides some PBCs or component collection uh, for even for free and made by community members. So I can suggest people to add my hub into their, or to register my hub into their ECR, and then they will be able to select different bundles from there. So that is very interesting too. So there is no reason to only rely on one hub. We have a lot of probability. We have a lot of different scenarios we can imagine using multiple hubs. I think the most used one, or the one we will see the most of the time, the one we will see the more, or most of the time, that is better, will be mixing private and public hub. I'm pretty sure that company will not want to share everything and make some components as private. As I said, for example, the login system. If you have a private login system, you should not want to make it available on the public hub. That makes sense. But if you make some public components, you want to make them public, or to share them into the, for example, the Entando public hub. That could make sense too. So there is no reason to rely only on one hub. We can mix them. We can decide different strategy regarding the different policies we have, security, and the exposition we want to give to our components. Well, it's almost 1 hour we are together, and we cover a lot of things. I'm not sure. I don't know if you have some question, please ask. But I think that we cover a lot of things for this 7.0 Entando version, mostly on the hub. I don't see anything we can add. Probably, I'm just wondering. Oh yeah, this is something we didn't talk about. If we talk about a hub, let me just check one more things before leaving. Is if you check the hub, we can see here that we define different categories of bundles. So here, for example, we consider the hub as a PBC. This is a PBC. This is a component collection. So a component collection is just a bundle that contains several components, but probably don't have any business goals or business defined goals. While the hub is totally business oriented, while the PBC is totally business oriented. And then we have some solution templates that should help you designing things. And you also have the single component. This is what we use, by the way. The Tableau the Tableau sample widget is a single component bundle. Basically contains only one component. So the strategy by defining, or you can define your bundles, it's mostly related to what we want to do with. It really depends. So it's hard to suggest you should do PBCs, you should do component collection of single components. I think what we should avoid is to have a ton of single component things, because it makes sense. Sometimes it's good to only install once things and have access to everything. But in the same time, having a bundle that contains 100 components is not probably a good solution too, because it will be hard to select and manage everything. So it's just always a question of balance. And I'm pretty sure that case by case, you will be able to define exactly how we want your bundles to be defined. But probably we will talk about that in incoming lives. What is the best strategy to creating components, bundle them, and share them into a hub? Because yeah, you can make great components, but if they are not easy to use or to select or to understand on the hub, probably people will not use them or will not use them enough or as expected. So the good strategy is not only on what I want to define, but also how I'm defining it. Well, but this is not another topic, and we will not cover it right now. But I'm pretty sure that it will be uh, very interesting to talk about that in the incoming weeks. Well, by the way, we are just if you want to join us, you can do it on Twitter because of we are very present here. Yeah, I'm connected. I'm connecting to connect. I'm connect to Twitter all day long. So if you want to ask me something, you can jump into my Twitter handle avd4j or on the one of Sohini, the Sohini, and ask us a few questions. One more thing is we try to do some Twitter Spaces, often at least twice per month. So we are glad to see people there discussing with us, opening to some discussions and so on. That is very interesting. So if you want to join us on Twitter Spaces, the best place will be to join us first on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter and let sure we can share incoming live, incoming Twitter Spaces. So you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps us a lot having more followers. So if you like what we are doing, please follow the YouTube channels and give some good thumbs. One more things. Yeah, we talk a lot about the hub, and I think in the incoming weeks we will talk about that in so many ways. We are planning to focus on these things, creating components, share them on the hub, define strategies, policies, or we can also including technical things such as defining pipelines, using some technicals, framework, good things, development tools, tips, code, and so on. So many exciting things. So be sure to stay tuned and to join us here. So the stream is finished for today. I wish you a good day. Same for Sohini. I hope you are fine. And we can just pray the cyclone will be ended soon. And see you. Bye-bye. And see you next week for another live, another session, exciting things. Bye-bye.